History of Sandy Hook and Fort Hancock. Military history of the Sandy Hook Peninsula expanded along with the nation itself. See the timeline page for important dates. In 1806, landowner Richard Hartshorne transferred most of northern Sandy Hook to the federal government for military use. By 1817, all final transfers of land ownership were complete. During the War of 1812, a wooden fortification named Fort Gates was constructed in 1813, an example of what is now called the second system of defence. The lighthouse itself was armed with cannon. After the War of 1812, recommendations were made to construct a large permanent fortification at the end of the Hook, but it wasn't until just before the Civil War began that work began. Over the next 3 years, a large wharf was constructed to receive new building supplies. Unlike most of New Jersey, both the Sandy Hook Lighthouse and New York City remained in British and Loyalist hands until the war's end in 1783. Loyalists guarded the light for the remainder of the war, using the Hook to stage raids on Patriot-held areas in New Jersey. The cannonball dented remained visible until repairs took place just before the Civil War, and the walls were thickened considerably. 1859, the U.S. Army began to construct the fort at Sandy Hook. It also served as a camp for the 10th New York Volunteer Infantry, or the National ZOUs. The fort was never completed, however, and was deserted after the war. The granite structure was largely torn down by the Army in the 1950s. This represented the third system of defences. Starting in 1890, the Army constructed the first of many concrete gun batteries of the Endicott era. Next were tough defences that included changes to existing fortifications and the addition of 12-inch barbette guns. The Army also created the Sandy Hook Proving Ground in 1874, which was run as a separate entity until it was deactivated when the Aberdeen Proving Ground was established in Maryland in 1919. The fort was decommissioned on December 31, 1974. Since then, most of Fort Hancock has served the public as the Sandy Hook unit of Gateway National Recreation Area. The remainder of the peninsula serves as U.S. Coast Guard Station Sandy Hook. The Fort Hancock and Sandy Hook Proving Ground National Historic Landmark covers the entire peninsula, including what is now under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Coast Guard. Visitors may tour gun batteries and the historic post, as well as enjoy Sandy Hook's trails and beaches.